know what cookies are, not the edible ones. Yes.
Cookies are like files that the client saves for the web server to track the client.
Yeah, exactly. So cookies are basically little like packets of information or like text things that your browser keeps. For example, have you guys ever logged in and then under the login form it says remember me? Yes, that's an example of using cookies. So if you check that little remember me thing, the server will kind of like give you a cookie to put on your browser, and then every time you log in again, or every time you visit that site again, it'll know it's you. And you have to do this kind of thing because HTML is what we call stateless, which means it doesn't remember anything after each transaction. Like if you like make one HTTP request, the next time you visit, it's like the first time you ever visited again. So if you want this kind of like remember me, or like a shopping cart where you go from space to space, like when you go between different steps, you want to use cookies or something like that. Any questions? Okay, so basically what we said, get variables are passed in the URL in the form of and my value equals whatever value, or my variable equals my value. Post variables are the result of a form submission, usually. It could be like sending the text fields, or sending whether a box is checked or not, or like even like file uploads. And cookies are set by the server. They're key value pairs, which means there's a key and a value. So a key might be like Facebook.com remember cookie, and then value would be like whatever date you want there. Any questions? And so I know I haven't talked about PHP that much yet. Here are a couple, I guess, PHP keywords kind of that you need to know to get information from the server. For example, if you have a client giving you a GET request, so this one's GET request, right? So you have http server.com @ user ID equals 10. How you would get that with PHP is you do $_ get in uppercases, and then whatever your key happens to be in the GET request. And these are kind of like the same thing. So if you have a post request and some input's name is user ID, your post would be, to get it in the PHP, it would be like $_ post user ID. And same for a cookie. You give some kind of cookie. And we kind of already talked about this, the PHP, or using GET requests, it is, just want to reiterate that GET is having the information actually in the URL. And like if you had a link, for example, you give it the PHP file information like this. So href equals profile.php, and then you're giving it some information about what ID you want to visit, and then like it's some link or whatever. And then you can also use PHP to dynamically create this link. But we'll talk about that in other lectures as well. Post, you just have a form. And then each of the input things have like a type, because it's like text field or like text area or whatever. And then your name is actually the post variable name that will be assigned to. So you need to make sure that these names, like name, from, and body, actually match what variables you're trying to call in the PHP. Or else if they don't match, it'll just return like null or something. And that's it. So we have a cool lab. You guys are going to be creating a PHP contact form. It's a little bit minimal on the PHP just because we didn't go over it in advance. I just wanted to give you guys like a sneak peek as to how PHP is used, like what it's all about. So yeah, and you'll do some Ajax, which is really fun. So basically you'll be having like this PHP form, and when you click the button, instead of like refreshing you to another page, it'll just like send the email, and it'll pop this little like thank you for your email, like, and that's Ajax, right? It's like the page isn't being refreshed or anything. So yeah, click on your